let's. Hello and welcome back to the channel for another one of our weekend previews. We are still focusing on flat racing for this episode, but as of next week, we do actually pretty much switch to the jumps through September, starting on September the 10th when there's going to be no racing. We're going to have you covered with a few episodes. We've got stable tours, we've got horses to follow. Our one rule pretty much at this point is to try and avoid Cheltenham talk until October. Obviously, aside from the stable tours, though, because we are going to obviously discuss it in there, but we're not going to do any Cheltenham focused episodes as such until October the 1st, which is on which date we will be doing a season preview. Me and my two wingmen, Liam and Jamie, and we will be joined by the famous Road to Cheltenham from Twitter and also racing boss man Ian Rayner from the Cheltenham Exchange. But like I said, we've got loads to cover until then. But for now, we do have a little bit more flat racing. But how are we doing, gents? Liam, let's go to you first. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, very well, thanks, mate. Yeah, no bets put up today, so not really anything to look forward to during the day from a racing perspective. But yeah, started getting stuck into a bit of flats, a bit of jump stuff. So yeah, no, all good, thanks, mate.
We've got to learn to say jumps first. That's both me and you that I've said. We're going to look forward to the hook, the jumps first. It's when you start forgetting as well, and you go, oh no, we're back to graded racing now. We're not on group racing anymore. Before I say hello to Jamie, what's that on your hoodie there, Liam? Ante-post.
Oh, it was bought for me, bless him, by it's my brother, I think, for one birthday or Christmas.
Yeah,
It was it's some logo I ripped off the internet somewhere when I first started my
you're hiding it now
my
just to
anti-post
copy.
angle page.
You hiding
Yeah,
copy right now just in case.
could do without a strongly worded letter from his lister.
Sure. Yeah. Jamie, how are you, buddy? You okay?
We're still waiting for Joe to order our new hoodies for the Ginger Joe Racing Show for the new season, Liam. Yeah, that's what we should be wearing. That right, Joe?
What do you want? You don't want a
Whoa,
ginger
whoa, whoa, whoa,
logo. You want
whoa,
new.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
No. But you want new silks, though, don't you? You don't want ginger. We don't need a logo, do we? We want fresh silk.
We'll have a logo with your big head in it. Come on, Terry,
No,
might as
no,
well.
no, no. So last year I got Jamie a hoodie with Graham Wiley silks on, and Scotty had one with Rob Core. So maybe we'll have to do one with tradition, but we won't be putting that logo, whichever one's on Liam's. We
Ooh.
won't be putting that on the thing, will we? No, it just sounds like you're trying to hide it. That's all. Anyway,
Anti-post angle racing tip stall.
yeah, maybe yeah. We'll brand it up a little bit. We'll brand it up. Anyway, let's stop being silly. Right, 6 races then, gents. 4 from Haydock and then 2 from Kempton, and then anything else, obviously, the lads have at the end. And if you're able to like and subscribe, please do. And hopefully, the lads can find you some winners. Right, we're going to start off at Haydock with a 115. The Betfair Exchange Superior Mile Stakes is a Group 3 over a mile, of course, hence the name. Opera Bello, a very warm favourite here at 11 to 8. Ice Max at 6 to 1. Make Me King at 6 to 1. Prague at 7 for Dylan Kuna. Really likeable trainer. Sui Francais at 10 to 1 and then 14 to 1. Bar those. Interesting race this one, gents. Obviously, Opera Bello comes here with probably the biggest engine. But this could be a race that gets a little bit messy. So even though everything points to him being the likely winner, hence why he's favourite, he's going to have to get a good ride at the same time and hopefully not pull the arms off William Buick at the same time. I'm just going to throw this one out there first of all. Is he a good thing, either of you?
No.
Good. I like that because I feel like he's not totally worth the price tag anyway. And it's important to remind you, sorry, we are doing this before declarations. Jamie, why is he not a favourite then? Why is he not a good thing? Sorry.
Because he won't run.
Okay, fair enough. There we go.
He'll be pulled out because of the soft ground.
Okay, fine, good. It shows how much I've been paying attention, doesn't it?
Yeah, he has. Well, like if it doesn't rain, we were talking about it the last day. If it doesn't rain, he'll win.
Okay.
Because earlier in the season, if you look back and look the way, I know it's all weather, it's different, but the way he won, beats the dad by 5 lengths at Kempton, goes to show you, like the dad won the race the weekend in Sandown at 100 and 101, so he must be up to 110. So Upper Battle is what? 116, sorry, so £6 higher. So you can see the form there. But even with the penalty, we've always been talking, Joe, the last couple of weeks about penalties. You take any notice and all that.
Sure.
But soft ground is soft ground. And Prague for Dylan Cunha, and Schumacher's booked. I see it opened at 16-1. No, it's 7-1 at the best prices. He'll do for me. All his first forms on soft ground. Fifth, the last day, Pontefract won't take any notice. That's good ground. Good to firm at Ascot. He was behind a subsequent Group 1 winner, Never So Brave, who won the Sky Bet City of York Stakes, beaten Lake Forest, which really annoyed me, but that's it. But you can see the form there. Fifth then at York, in the same race as Lake Forest, with Quinault winning. He won last year at Newmarket on soft ground, was very impressive. He just needs cutting the ground, and at 7-1, I don't care about the penalty. I think he's an each way bet to nothing on the ground yet. So Prague for me.
Love that, James. Become a really good trainer, hasn't he, Dylan Cunha? Like a good target trainer, sort of finding the right races for his horses. So Prague, therefore, Jamie, Liam.
I'm in agreement with Jamie. As to how much rain needs to come, I'm not too sure. Sorry, with regards to Opera Ballo, that is.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much rain needs to come for him to be a non-runner. Maybe we can go quickly flash back to Jamie as to see what he thinks, whether it has to be soft or all over the course, or whether good to soft would make him potentially be withdrawn. But I think bookmakers are already protecting themselves from an ante-post perspective. So my selection in the race is 12-1 in two places with two bookmakers.
Okay.
Yeah, as big as 28s in others. As you've said, this goes out after declarations, so that's of no use to anybody. But the horse that I thought was worth chancing is Check and Challenge, who I put up at 33-1 earlier in the week. If Opera Ballo is declared, he will still be a similar price, I would have thought. But if you look back at some of his form, he's finished in front of Prague and in front of Ice Max, both of which are far shorter in the market, as well as being ahead of Henry Longfellow. That performance came in the QE2 on Champions Day, with soft in the going conditions. His other best RPRs and performances of the game being with soft in the going. If we're all of the same opinion, there will be soft ground. I think that he potentially was overpriced at massive odds. He does need to return to form, but he's also placing a Group 2 over in France and has some form this season when only a couple of lengths behind Docklands, who's now rated 118, and obviously he's gone on to win at the Royal Meeting. So I thought he was potentially overpriced. But as I say, bookies protect themselves a bit, Joe. 12-1 with two mainstream bookmakers, but yet 25s, 33s earlier in the week with others.
Yeah, love that. Nice one, Liam. Okay, well, we're all taking on Opera Ballo. Then again, I haven't really found anything against him, but if he did line up, he is the sort of horse that I would like to lay rather than back. He's like Jamie said, especially if the soft ground comes, not only does this horse pull hard, he's a really difficult ride and it could be a messy race. It's just gonna mean he's gonna need that stamina. He can't really afford to do much wrong, can he? So I'd probably just look to lay him directly myself. But it's good to see that we're all in agreement anyway and taking on the favourite. Right, on to the 150, the Betfair Ascendant Stakes. We've got a listed race again over a mile here. Bow Echo at 5-2, Publish here at 5-2. Bit of a talking horse from last week before he got made a non-runner. We've got Isaac Newton here, Benevento Cellini. I don't think Alzanati's going to run here because I noticed that Buick is jocked up on Publish. Jamie, who do you fancy in the second?
Well, you can't crib Bow Echo's effort at Newbury on debut, but that's on good to firm. Publish won't run either. But I think Alzanati probably will run, Joe. Form for that race not great at Newmarket.
Okay.
Publish will be pulled, obviously, last week in Solari because of the potential soft ground. I don't think it'll run, so I think take that little pinch of salt that William Buick is jocked up. Now, obviously, if it's not soft ground, it's good ground, Publish will run and it will win because it would won that Solario Stakes with its mouth open because that was one of the worst runnings of the Solario Stakes I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. They all finished in the heap, and when 2 years all finished in the heap like that, it's a bad race. Interest to see O'Brien has a lot of runners actually entered here, and the one, if they do, I know we are before declarations, that's the sad thing about it, but he has Isaac Newton, Benevento Cellini, and he's action here. The one who would run hopefully, and I hope to see, is Benevento Cellini on the soft ground.
Jamie. Yes, I agree.
Second to Dorset on debut. Dorset obviously was a well back favourite at Goodwood in the race Saviteri one. who's a really good horse for you, John Houghton, by the way. Form's been franked all around the place in that vintage stakes.
Mhm.
But Dorset, I would forgive because of it's Goodwood's Goodwood. There's a horse in that who's probably one of the best maidens in training for Joseph O'Brien and Al Harras, who will win a maiden. Keep that for your notebook.
Okay.
It was in that race of the maiden that Dorset won, and Benvenuto Cellini was second. Then Benvenuto Cellini went on to Killarney and won on yielding to soft.
Yeah.
Won by nearly 3 lengths. If this horse comes over, I back it blind against it if it's soft ground. And 6-1 each way at the moment. Take your chance if it runs. It's up to yourself, but I'd be all over it for runs.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, James. I haven't got many fancies this weekend, but this is actually one of them. As well, if we take a look at the likes of Bo Echo, Publish, even Isaac Newton, none of these have actually gone up to a mile yet. So they've got to prove that stamina. Not only has Benevento done that, but he's also done it, like you said, on the soft ground, hasn't he? I love these Ballydor horses that they name Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, George
Mm-hmm.
Washington's a good example. They do name their horses quite aptly for the ones they think are the best. I think if Isaac Newton was going to run here, he'd be shorter in the market than he is currently,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a given, but we've seen a few funny market moves like this lately. But I am in full agreement here, Jamie, and I'd go ahead and back him now. I'd take my chance on this occasion. On the basis that if he runs, Isaac Newton isn't going to run, and then suddenly this horse is going to be threes, I'd imagine. So,
Yeah.
Liam, any change to the argument there at all?
Got no opinion, do not care. The only thing I was interested
Oh,
in is
oh,
who's evidently a massive science fan who's named these 3 younger horses in that stable: Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, and Isaac Newton.
Charles Darwin's
Is
the other
Brian
one.
DeChambeau as part of Ballydoyle now, is he?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, why not? Maybe he is. No, okay, nothing from Liam, but me and Jamie in agreement with Benevento Cellini. Think I got that name right. 3 o'clock at Haydock, the 1 mile 6 furlong Borough Cup handicap. Deep as you like, competitive as you like here, lads. The Reverend at 5-1, Shadow Dance 7-1, Caballo Damar at 8, Paddy the Squire at 8-1, Stress Free at 9-1, Dramatic Start at 10, and then any price you like for the remainder. 25 runners at the moment, but we can only have a max field of 17. So we are going to lose 8 runners from the current lineup. But this is the sort of race that Liam just thrives on. So I am going to make an assumption that you probably got something in here you fancy for the weekend, perhaps.
Yes, I have, Joe. Yeah, you'd be
Oh,
right. It's a horse I put up a few starts ago, and still a little bit sick about the fact he got beat, because he was a very big price at 40s, but he was beaten to second in the Northumberland Plate by Spirit Mixer. He's since turned that form around. The horse is Dancing in Paris, is available at around about 12-1 at the time recording. But he's been a bit of a bridesmaid of late. Second at Goodwood, second in that plate that I just mentioned, and also second earlier in the season behind French Master. He's crept up the weights without actually getting into the winner's enclosure, but he's only up £5. He's clearly been progressive, and I've got Steve Ryder for this because it's not off the top of my head, but Ian Williams, his trainer, also won this race in both 2018 and 2019. As long as the ground is good to soft and not soft all over, he should definitely line up, and his form figures on good to soft ground read 2-2, 3-2. I think he's still progressive. I think he's got a cracking chance this weekend. So yeah, Dancing in Paris for me in this, Joe.
Lovely, with Safi in the saddle. Can't go wrong with Safi Osborne. Brilliant jockey there, especially in these big handicaps as well. Jamie, the Reverend, the favourite here for Haggis and Marquand, probably a well enough handicap horse and pretty progressive too. Is he your idea of the winner, or is there something a little bit further down the market that has caught your eye, or where we are?
No interest in the race because I came down on about 7 and I can't decide between each one of them. It's bad for me now in the handicap because I always pick one and I'll stick to the one. But it's the first time I'm actually speechless when a -6 handicap because I actually like -6 handicaps.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
No, I leave it go.
Cool. Okay, well, I can't give too much away, but one of my horses to follow for the jump season happens to be in this race, and that's all I'm going to say for the time being. Right, I'm going to stick with you here, Jamie. Actually, we go on to the 335, which is the Betfair Sprint Cup Stakes, because you're a massive fan of Lazat, aren't you? Look, he's only 2-1 to win this race. I know you put up Kind of Blue before, but his form sort of dropped off. Time for Sandals, a really nice progressive horse, won the Commonwealth. That form worked out really nicely as well since. And he then obviously finished real close third to JM Jungle. No Half Measures was a surprise winner. You got Sky Majesty, deeply impressive. Almerac. This is a very, very good race. But is Lazat just too good, Jamie? Like you seem to have quite an opinion on this horse, so I'd be quite happy to listen to you. And
Yeah. Will it run? Maybe.
is this ground again?
Maybe
Is it?
not.
Is this ground?
No, Lizette can go on anything. Fast ground,
Okay.
soft ground doesn't matter.
Yeah, he'll love it.
He'll love it.
Is it the fact that they've got 3 or 4 entered? Is that the reason you're saying?
Yeah,
that?
that's what put me off because Flora Bermuda is going to run. Kind of Blue came back to form. I thought in the Curragh
Okay. I see.
the last day. I really like Kind of Blue. Not for me in this. The one that interests me, I saw there the article today. I don't understand why they're not going for the Air Gold Cup in Almerac because he'd be an absolute certainty.
Okay.
There's a reason. No, Crowdy's jocked. We all know that. But even if he doesn't run, he'll win at York on Sunday regardless.
Okay.
Almerac. The horse is going places, but they have stressed that the horse needs soft ground. So I see here at all of them, right? And surely, regardless of there's no stable jockey at the moment because Ryan Moore is injured, if Whistle Jacket runs here on soft ground, you have to give him a chance. But he could be one for the 6 furlong race at Ascot, the sprint stakes, the Group 1, because that's a stiffer 6 than Haydock.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a few horses in that. That might not run and then run in Ascot instead because he was so impressive, beating Satana Rave. And then you have more Thunder, who I really like, who's going to go up against Lazat, hopefully, on Ascot Chess. So, if Lazat runs, he'll win. I think he's just too good for these, especially if it's soft ground, because they won't be able to match him.
Yeah.
He's stamina in abundance, and he's just, I think, to be honest with you, I'd rather over him over 7 furlongs. I think he's a better horse over 7 furlongs, even though he's won a stiff 6 at Ascot. I think he's better over 7. And they should look at 7 when it comes to Lazat. But if Whistle Jacket ran here at 25-1, I'd have a bet on him each way because this horse needs soft ground. All his best form as a 2-year-old is in soft ground. So it's Lazat for the win. I know it's short. Look,
Hey, when is the
it's
winner?
like the Wheel of Fortune. You spin and you ask for a vowel, and you can't have a vowel when it comes to sprinters at the moment. It is terrible division. But Lazat, I think Doyle will learn the last day that just put him out in front and he won't be beaten. Do you know what I mean? But I will say if Whistle Jack can run, he'll part a few money each way with me anyway, because of the soft ground.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't even. He's that far down the market. I didn't even know he was in there. Like I said, I'm a little sort of unprepared again. But again, he gets declared. What price does he go? He's going to be smashed in, isn't he? Like, so I'll make sure I get this one up before declaration so everyone can decide what they want to do. Liam, what do you fancy in this?
Yeah, a bit of a bigger again. The most feeling punts in the land. Haydock not taking the water particularly well, and therefore it definitely being soft ground. He posted his 3rd highest RPR in his career at this track.
Who was it? Sorry, it was crackling like mad. I think Jamie. It was the same for Jamie.
Was it? Sorry, apologies, boys. Inisherin.
Inisherin, got you.
Yeah. It's posted his 3rd highest RPR at this track on soft ground. So yeah, I really fancied him, especially at a price at 20-1. You would have to be forgiving. Obviously, he didn't run his race the last day, but he hadn't been seen on a track for about 8-9 weeks. So he'd had almost 2 months off. You could potentially suggest that he'd be entitled to come on for that. That said, there's both the hood, I think it is, and the tongue tie applied to him. He's evidently not easy to train. He ran a very good race at York, obviously, after his wind operation, but I think that he is one that could definitely outrun his odds. He's in terms of his official ratings, he's 2nd in the field. And I think Lazat's done a bit of jet setting already this year. And even though it might blunt speed in terms of the weather that we've got coming, I don't think Haydock would particularly suit him. Yeah, Inisherin each way. 16's currently available. Not sure what it'll be after Dex, but yeah, he'd be for me, Joe.
Lovely. Some nice shouts this evening. I like them. Some interesting angles into the races. We're going to go over to Kempton. Start off in the 135. Look, we have the Unibet September Stakes here, which is a Group 3 over 1 mile 4. And it looks like it should be a straightforward job for Kalpana. Again, I'm really just cautious that we've got a lot of runners here still at the moment, that if it doesn't cut up, it could again be a messy race. Now, I know Kempton does open up. They have sort of like this slipstream on the inside, or they can go wide. So it should be give her plenty of time to sort of find her gearings, but you wouldn't want to let one get off too soon around Kempton anyway. So you need a real good rider out of Colin Keane or Kalpana before the arc to give you that confidence going into Longchamp. But you've also got Giavolotto, Arabian Crown, Military Academy, Palladium, who has obviously now been gelded. Absurd in here, probably not going to run here, I wouldn't have thought anyway. Liam, she's going to be hard to beat, but is there an anti-post angle into this?
Not for me, Joe.
Cool. Jamie, does Kalpana win this? And then, well, so all roads lead to the arc, I suppose.
Wouldn't bother me if Giavolotto beat it. No. All roads to the arc, and
Okay,
a
fine,
soft ground arc
fine.
against. To be at the moment, Joe, I'm happy with my position in the race. I've backed Calipana at 8s, and I've backed Mini Hawk at 16s, and it's between the two of them. And I don't think anything will get near the two of them, the two fillies, especially on soft ground. So it's Sumilian versus Colin Keane, and we'll see how we get on in the arc.
Yeah, game on. Yeah, that's a good pair to have. I agree, you've probably got it covered there, James. I certainly haven't got it covered because I don't think I've got a penny on. 310 at Kempton then. The final race, the Serenius Stakes, the Group 3 over 6 furlongs. Some nice sorts in this field. A bit of a tricky race to weigh up. We've got the likes of Military Code, Beckford's Folly. They're 2 for Charlie Appleby. We've got Igoli here for Team Rafe Beckett. Any sort of standout selection here, lads? Because I am struggling with what's on offer in this field, to be honest. Small betting for me at the moment, anyway. Till the judge.
The only one that caught my eye was Rogue Supremacy, because I was very taken by his debut at Wetherby. I've then looked at his form subsequently and realised I've not paid any attention, and there's no way he'd be a bet in this.
Okay.
So no, nothing for me in short, mate.
James, can you finish in style, or have we got the weekend covered?
It's not a great race, to be honest with you, for the grade, but I know he won the Woodcut and beaten I can't remember that name, that bloody horse. Who was second to him? Was second to that horse in the sprint? Oh, it come to me. But anyway, regardless, because the top rate will win here because Oshie Murphy's booked, and the other one, Beckford Folly, that Colin Keane is what doesn't have great form. So I know he's better over 5, but I think you get away with it over 6, and he just has the most experience. I think Military Code will win regardless of what price it is.
Cool. Okay. Short and sweet there, lads, but that's what we want. Like we said, we're ready for the jumps action now. But before we do clock off, best bets, if that's all right, or anything from anywhere else. Again, only if you got something, gents. We don't like to force it. Jamie, any weekend best bets or fancies elsewhere?
No, I'll leave it go because I think Liam has one.
Cool. Liam?
I do, and it'll be familiar because I mentioned him about 2 weeks ago, and it's in the Ascot Handicap, and it's Northern Express reappearing there. Paul Mulrennan's back on board. Of his 7 career wins, he's been the jockey on 6 of those occasions. His last win came over this course and distance. He's £4 below that. I'm not willing to give up on him. And in actual fact, I'll go one further. I'll certainly be having a few quid on the each way double dancing in Paris and Northern Express. We'll pay over 100 to 1 if they both land it. So if anybody finds some spare change, I won't put you off. I'll certainly be playing that. And I'm not somebody for multiples whatsoever. I think they've both got a cracking chance this weekend.
Love that. Thanks a lot, Liam. I know you know this horse quite well, Dancing in Paris as well, because you've sort of followed him this season and backed him a few times. And it has seemed to pay dividend. It's like you said, placed on a few occasions. Jamie, no, you just said you're keeping a pile dry. Sorry. Okay.
Like if Almarac doesn't run in the Spring Cup on Saturday, if he runs at York on Sunday, absolute certainty if she runs at York. Now, not without a chance in the Spring Cup, as I said, like the soft ground. Trying to, as I said, repeat myself, if that horse ran in the Air Gold Cup, nothing to beat it. But they're going big. I understand that because the sprint division is a bit of a roulette machine. But I think they might leave it off and just go softly first and run in York on Sunday. If it runs in York on Sunday, an absolute good thing.
Yeah, wow. Okay, cool. Well, some nice opinions there, lads. And that's probably going to be the last of the flat. I mean, we've got Champions Day in the Arc. We're obviously going to cover that, but we're We're on switch mode now. We are. So, like I said, just for anyone that, just a quick recap. September, we've got horses to follow. We've got stable tours, French recruit episodes, point-to-point episodes. Will they, won't they episodes.
Kerry National in about 2
Kerry
weeks,
National,
Joe.
there we go. We've got list out. Oh, good stuff. Look, Jamie's going to give us the winner there already. And then we've got Down Royal. Then we're on to Chet.
The first year, and I say 20 years, and I'm going to miss the stall.
Yeah,
No.
okay. Well,
And Flooring Porter won last year. Won by half the track. I've been seen since.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was there that day. It was a great crack. When I saw it, let's go up and click there. It's already have won.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, wasn't it? Ridiculous performance. We can try and find us the winner again this year, then, James. But also, on that note, we will do one on sort of like new recruits as well. There's a lot of interesting horses that are that some people may not know about. Let me really give you a couple as an example. Be 2 seconds. So, for example, nice horse that won the bumper at Cheltenham in April called Poetisa, won at 2021 for Tony Bolgan, has now switched hands and is with Willie Mullins. We have a nice horse called State Woman, which is a full sister to State Man. We've got Florin Brandy, who's a full brother to Florin Porter. So loads of interesting recruits like that we're going to bring to you directly on the show. So, as we said, if you're ever so kind, it's free to do. If you can like and subscribe, you'll be notified when all the episodes are out. We've got some really good stuff coming soon, and it's time to get excited. Boys, thanks very much. We will be back real soon. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Bye for now.